Okay, which is a commonly accepted value for the lowest voltage that can cause dangerous electric shock? The answer to that is 30 volts. 30 volts can cause dangerous electric shock. How does current flowing through the body cause a health hazard? It does it by several ways. One of them is by heating tissue. It also can disrupt the electrical functions of the cells, and it can also cause involuntary muscle contractions. All of these choices are correct. Current flowing through the body can do all of these things. It's not a test question, but since you're going to be working with electricity, let me give you a couple of hints here. The most dangerous electrical path through your body is from one hand to the other hand, because that path goes right through your heart. So one of the things that is a technician trick is when you're working with high voltage, you put one hand in your pocket and do everything with the other hand, so that you can't get that kind of a path from one hand to the other. Again, there are other ways you can be shocked. You can be shocked from a hand down through your legs to your feet if you're not on an insulated surface of some kind or have rubber soles on your shoes. But these are the ways that the current flowing causes a health hazard to the body: heating, disrupting electrical function, and involuntary muscle contraction. What is connected to the green wire in a 3-wire electrical AC plug? That's the safety ground. That goes to your that's what goes to the round connection on the plug-in on the wall, and all of that connects together to the ground system of your electrical system. What's the purpose of a fuse in an electrical circuit? The purpose is to interrupt power in case of an overload. A fuse is a device that has a little wire in there that's easy to melt if you run too much current through it. And if you run too much current through it, it melts, breaks the circuit, and so it sacrifices itself to save the rest of the circuit. Why is it unwise to install a 20-amp fuse in place of a 5-amp fuse? Okay, my 5-amp fuse blew, and my power supply or whatever it was turned off. Okay, man. Well, if I put in a 20-amp fuse, it won't do that. Okay. Well, if you do that, if you have a problem in your power supply, now instead of 5 amps blowing the fuse, it's going to take 20 amps to do it. And before you get to 20 amps, you could start overheating wiring and cause a fire. So the wiring in there is not made to handle 20 amps, it's made to handle 5 amps. And putting in a higher value fuse could cause excessive current that would cause a fire. What's a good way to guard against electrical shock at your station? They say use 3-wire cords and plugs for all AC-powered equipment. To connect all AC-powered equipment to a common safety ground, to use a circuit protected by a ground fault interrupter, and all of these choices are correct for this question. Which of these precautions should be taken when installing devices for lightning protection in a coaxial cable feed line? You should ground all the ground all of the what did I do there? Ground all of the protectors to a common. Oh, okay. Lightning protection devices. Okay, ground all of the protectors, the lightning protection devices, to a common plate, which is in turn connected to an external ground. What these protectors are, they could be a spark gap, or they could be a little gas tube that breaks down at a particular voltage, and those can go in your feed line, and they should all be connected to a common plate and then connected to an external ground. What's one way to recharge a 12-volt lead-acid station battery if the commercial power is out? You could connect the battery to your car battery and run the engine in the car. So for emergency power, you could recharge your battery by hooking it up to your car's battery and running running the engine. What kind of hazard is presented by a conventional 12-volt storage battery? They're talking here about the kind of battery that's in a car. Explosive gas can collect if it's not properly vented. This mainly happens during charging. but your battery should be vented. An ordinary car-type battery should be vented when it's in operation, either charging or discharging. What can happen if a lead-acid storage battery is charged or discharged too quickly? The battery could overheat and give off flammable gas or explode. The flammable gas, this explosive gas here, is hydrogen, and that could be given off and it could explode. That mainly happens if you charge it too fast, but if you discharge it too fast, it also can become very hot and cause problems. Which of the following is good practice when installing ground wires on a tower for lightning protection? You should make sure the connections are short and direct. For lightning protection, you need your wiring and your connectors to be as short as possible to the grounding system. What kind of hazard might exist in a power supply when it's turned off and disconnected? There are capacitors in your power supply that could have a residual charge that you could receive a shock from. So you might receive an electric shock from stored charges in large capacitors. What safety equipment should always be included in a home-built equipment that is powered from 120-volt AC power circuits? Should always include a fuse or a circuit breaker in series with the AC hot converter.